Wait. wait.
I don't think it starts until you broadcast.
بلش يلا افتحي برودكاست. ما في فيديو هلا اوبننج صح. Hi, and welcome to the webinar where we're talking about what businesses can do during the crisis of COVID-19. And we have a specific focus on what retail businesses can do in particular. My name is Ayman, and my area of specialty is working with business owners to help them acquire customers, build business process for scale as they grow, retain customers. I've done work with different businesses throughout the Middle East and other parts of the world, and I'll be sharing from my experience with you here today. During the webinar, you can ask any questions you'd like to ask. So there's the Q&A functionality that you can take advantage of, and also you could look at raising hand or messaging me, or if you message me on Instagram, I'll be able to answer those questions as well. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started to talk more about a specific retail focus and what needs to be done. All right. Now, one of the first key aspects is the bio of Instagram to be Instagram and Facebook. Those are storefronts, so optimizing those specifically for reflecting your business today about what are COVID-specific information that you need to include and factor in, such as setting expectations in terms of delivery times. Instead of same day that like you usually used to do, you can do 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, whatever it is that you're able to do now, as long as you're able to commit to it. So if you're able to commit to 3, say 3. If you're not, you commit to 5 working days, say 5 working days. So as long as the expectations are set. So the bio plays a very, very big role. And we've studied many different bios. And we looked at many different behaviors that they've exhibited. And we've highlighted the ones that make the most sense. So when we look at a bio for Instagram, it's for somebody who first has heard about us and they're looking to make a purchase. So they're looking to decide if they can buy from us or not. So one of the things that we see commonly is the usage of a flag, which helps give it a local feel and enhance the idea of a faster delivery time versus importing it from abroad. And the personal shopping assistant part is a key concept that we'll tackle more in the session, but we're going to be talking more about as the personal shopping assistants, that is you being able to help them. So they're going to ask you about a certain product. Do you have this in stock? Can you deliver it this way? Do you have this in blue or black? Do you have this my size? Something like this. So in that case, answer their question, but also go further. Inquire more. Is this you're buying this for you or for somebody else? Is there a specific occasion? Is this something that you might be interested in this and that? So this is a way for you to create a personal shopping experience. So we've all had this case where we have walked into a physical store and there was a distinguished salesperson who has been able to help us really navigate through the store and what we need and hold our hand throughout all that process. So that's the personal shopping assistant, the digital personal shopping assistant equivalent of it. Specify the delivery. So if it's next day, 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, and specify payment online or cash on delivery. In terms of this, in the lights of COVID, a lot of people are not very comfortable doing this aspect. So if you can specify that you're able to pay online beforehand, that's better. One of the aspects as well that they worry about a lot when they purchase from you is, what if they don't like it? If it's the wrong size, if they're not comfortable with it? What's the exchange? Is there an exchange policy? Yes or no? What is it? And what duration? So just be clear that you have an exchange policy. It's within 3 days, and 3 days is reasonable for somebody to get home and to see it and to go through it. And then be clear about the refunds being store credits versus cash or credit back on the account. So be clear about that expectations from the beginning. Also, another thing in terms of the exchange policy, make sure that you abide by your local laws. Now, in terms of COVID, there are further requirements on exchanges. So some countries have that, they don't allow exchanges now. Other countries have allowed exchanges, but there are certain criteria such as sanitization, letting it stay in storage up to 24 hours or more before placing it back in circulation, and so on. In terms of placing the order, here we're looking at the WhatsApp order. So placing the order via WhatsApp. So WhatsApp is a very, very, very big driver for purchasing, especially in the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and other parts of the Middle East. Here, if you have that clarity that you're able to do this via WhatsApp, so this way you're saying you can order here, or we can do it via direct message. And ask for more pictures before you buy, showing that that also ties into your personal shopping assistance approach, and free shipping in the country that you're in for orders more than a certain amount. One nice trick for you to look at is the link in the bio to be actually the WhatsApp link. So this WhatsApp link is, if a user clicks on it, it automatically opens up the WhatsApp application and already fills in your number. This reduces the friction that's there where they see the number here and they go to WhatsApp and their phone book and they add it manually, and then they wait until WhatsApp picks it up and then they message you. So there's some friction there. With this profile link, if you do it in this format and just change the phone number in the international format of the country that you're in. This way, when somebody clicks on this, it opens up WhatsApp and they can message you directly. So this reduces the friction. So this type of bio is based on research from many, many different types of successful online stores that have been doing well even before COVID-19. So, and these are common patterns that we've observed that we're recommending that you share, which is specify if you have the flag, it gives the impression more of the local aspect and the faster delivery. Adopt a personal shopping approach where you're able to really help them based on what they need, not just they answer a question and you simply answer. Set expectations in terms of delivery. If you can do next day, do next day. If it's in 5 days, it's in 5 days. So whatever you can really do, meet it, versus saying it's going to come here tomorrow and then you have frustration because you're going to deliver it on day 7. Payment, exchange policy, and the ordering via WhatsApp. So those are the key elements there. Another aspect as well is, as part of your the professional image, is to look at adding a formal email. When we say a formal email, it has your own domain. Even if you don't have a full website yet, you can go ahead and add your domain here. So that it looks much more professional than a Gmail or a personal email that's there. So buying the domain costs 40 dirhams a year. You don't have to set up a page now. You can have, so let's say you buy the greatest retail store ever.com, and you can have that redirect to Instagram. So you don't even need to build the page. So it's only a 40 dirham a year for you to get the domain, and then you can set up the email. This way, when you add it here, you have, it will give it a much better image. Now, the home for everything related to Facebook, and when I say Facebook, I'm talking about the family of Facebook. So Facebook's Blue app, Instagram, and WhatsApp. So that's the family of Facebook. So the Business Manager it's a tool. It's a very advanced tool provided by Facebook for free for businesses to manage many different things related to the business. It's a little bit annoying to set up in the beginning because there's a lot of effort to be done, a lot of details and so on. But once you set it up properly, you are able to really manage everything related to your business. In case an employee leaves, in case you need to change your credit card for payment of the ads, setting up the ads, tracking pixels, and so on. So there's so much that you can do in order to better control your account and manage it. So once you're able to get over that hurdle, and you'll be able to. So this is the link. And if you message me later, I can send you this PowerPoint, or just go ahead and download the full PowerPoint from this URL. Now, when we talk about running ads, we're talking about running ads all the time. So when we say running ads all the time, I know it's difficult for some businesses to run ads all the time, but the issue is there is the organic reach. That means if you post something on your Instagram or your Facebook and so on, the number of people that see is very, 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 very small. So if you have something to promote and to push, you will need an ad that goes with it. And you can take advantage of many different ad types. So with the ad types here that you're looking at, so there are ad types that they can take you click to WhatsApp. So people can see this ad that you're running. And then when they click on it, it's a shop now, remote, whatever it is, it takes them directly to WhatsApp. So it's a WhatsApp ad that you're able to communicate with them directly and be able to start a discussion. So that's it. So you can do the click to Messenger, and you can do the click to WhatsApp as. All right, and you can also take advantage of click to call as well. I know it's a little bit messy now with COVID, depending on what you've done with your landlines or who has your mobile number for the store. But there are many different types of ad types across Facebook and Google where people can actually directly call you, and you can track how many have been called, or they can provide you with their number to call them. So you can ask for their name, email, and mobile number, and they would. And you'd be able to call you, and you'd be able to call them after they submit the information. And what's nice about this lead ad process is there is much less friction. So the number of people who are looking at. So what happens is when you click on subscribe, when a user clicks on subscribe, it automatically fills in their first name from Facebook, last name from Facebook, the email, the mobile number. So the user doesn't have to input a lot of this information on their own. And hopefully, now that depends on where you are and how COVID is looking at. If you need to have a booking, if it's a physical or online, there's a Facebook appointment booking, so that would also help in case your business is very specific related to having them book a certain time. It's not just a product; it's more on the services side. So they have an appointment built in, and what's nice about this is it sends them a reminder via Facebook and Messenger and so on. Now, one key aspect is collecting payments. So how would you collect payments, especially when you're dealing with everything online? One of the key aspects here is that who holds the money. What happens is you interact with your customer via Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, whatever it is, and then the customer is ready to buy. So when they're ready to buy, instead of you sending them with the product and with cash on delivery, especially with COVID, there's some stigma there. What you can do is you can send them a link. Send them a link for them to buy. So what happens is after you agree on the topic, you send them a link to buy. They open up that link and they make a payment on that. So it's a simple process where you go to the app and you send the link, and this is what the customer sees, and they get paid, and they pay, and then you get paid. So if I'm to summarize, we'll look at focusing on what your storefront would look like in terms of the bio. Work on having your professional domain. Go through the effort of the business manager to be set up properly. It's going to take a bit of effort, but once you do that, it will really help. And then if you can run ads on an ongoing basis and take advantage of ad types such as click to WhatsApp and click to Messenger, and click to call, you have different types for that. And the important aspect of getting paid will need to Zbooni is a tool that you'd be able to use. So that brings us to where we are today. So if you have any questions about the content, if you'd like a copy of the presentation, we'll be sending that out. If you've registered via the Zoom link, we'll be sending that out by email, and you can also reach out to us on Instagram or Facebook, and I'll send that and I'll send that over. So I'll be happy to send a copy of the presentation by email once we're done later. And anytime you have any questions related to retail, related to, you can ask them now in the Q&A, or you can do it privately on Instagram, where I'll be happy to answer your questions related to anything related to the business. So how to acquire customers, how to run ads, how to do with recruitment, how to build business process as you want to grow the business. If you're looking at retention, customer support, how to prepare your startup pitch for investors. So those tend to be areas that I can readily advise you on, independently of what type of business that you're in. So I want to thank Muhammad and Shika and others for attending today. And if you have any questions or anything, I can answer them now, or reach out to me on Instagram, no issues. So it's good to see you, Muhammad. It's good to see you. Did you have any questions? Something I'm talking about today, since we're here together, or you'd rather we do it via Instagram DM? We can do both. All right, so I'll raise the hand and disappear. Don't be shy. So if you raise hands, let me know. I'll unmute you and we'll talk. All right, then. Thank you for showing up today. And if you have any questions, let me know. And after the session, I'll be sending out the presentation for you to have a copy of it by PowerPoint. Every Tuesday at 4:30 UAE time, conducting sessions like this on different topics. So make sure that we see each other every Tuesday at 4:30. Okay, guys. Thank you for coming in and for participating. And I'll see you again soon.